Rain lashed against the windows. Wind howled like a banshee, rattling the old glass. Emma drew her cardigan tighter, a shiver running down her spine. The apartment was cold, the air thick with the unsettling feeling of being watched. She glanced at the clock. 11:57 p.m., almost midnight. Most of the building's residents were long gone, seeking warmth and comfort elsewhere. Emma, however, was stuck. Moving day was tomorrow, and boxes still cluttered her living room floor. A particularly strong gust made the floorboards creak. Emma jumped, her heart pounding. She chided herself for being silly. It was just the wind, just the old building settling. There was nothing to be afraid of. Still, she couldn't shake the feeling of unease. Something felt off. A new sound cut through the storm's symphony, a low, rhythmic whistling. It came from the hallway just outside her apartment door. 2 short notes, then a long one, repeated in a haunting melody. Emma froze, her breath catching in her throat. It was a tune both familiar and alien, like a childhood lullaby twisted into something sinister. Terror, cold and sharp, pierced her chest. She crept closer to the door, each step heavy with dread. The whistling continued, unwavering. Hesitantly, Emma pressed her ear against the cold wood. Silence. She held her breath, listening for any sound. Nothing. Suddenly, the whistling resumed, louder this time, seeming to come from inside the apartment. Emma stumbled back, fear gripping her like a vice. She was alone, wasn't she? The whistling moved, circling her, a phantom melody swirling around her head. Emma spun in place, searching for the source, but the room was empty. Shadows danced in the dim light, each one taking on menacing shapes. A knock echoed from the door, sharp and insistent. Emma gasped, her blood turning to ice. The whistling stopped. Silence descended, heavy and suffocating. She backed away from the door, her gaze darting around the room, searching for an escape. The window. Maybe she could climb down the fire escape. As she turned towards the window, the whistling started again, right behind her. It was closer now, almost a whisper in her ear. Emma whirled around, her scream dying in her throat. The room was empty. No figure, no shadow, no source for the terrifying melody. But the presence was undeniable, heavy and cold, pressing down on her. Then a voice, a raspy whisper that seemed to seep from the very walls themselves. "You can't hide from me, Emma." It wasn't the whistling that chilled her to the bone, but the realization that it had known her name all along. Emma was not alone, and whatever was with her, it was not there to play games.